What if one day you discovered that you were never meant to live an ordinary life? What if an ancient mark appeared on your body? A mark connected to forgotten kingdoms, legendary relics, terrifying monster, and a war that has been ragging for centuries. And what if the fate of an entire world rested on your shoulders? That's exactly the journey waiting inside The Eighth Seal by Vincent Vinoth. And honestly, this wasn't the book I expected it to be. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm talking about The Eighth Seal by Vincent Vinoth, a dark fantasy adventure filled with ancient mysteries, powerful relics, unforgettable characters, and some genuinely chilling moments. Going into this book, I expected a fantasy story, but what I got was something much bigger. Without giving any major spoilers, this story follows Leo, a seemingly ordinary teenager whose life changes after a series of strange events being to unfold around him. What starts as mystery slowly transforms into much larger conflict involving ancient seals, hidden civilizations, legendary weapons, forgotten history, and an approaching darkness that threatens everything. The deeper Leo digs for answers, the more he realizes that he is connected to something far greater than himself. And that's where the story truly shines. Instead of revealing everything at once, the author slowly expands the world chapter by chapter. Every answer leads to a new question. Every mystery opens another door. And before you realize it, you are completely invested. One of my favorite things about this book was Leo. He is not an overpowered hero. He is not fearless. And he is definitely not perfect. He is confused. He is scared. He makes mistakes. He struggles. And because of that, he feels real. Watching him slowly growing into his role was one of the most satisfying part of this story. The supporting cast also adds a lot of experience, whether it's friendship, loyalty, mentorship, or sacrifice. Every major character contributes something meaningful to Leo's journey. And then there is Caldron. Let's talk about him. Without spoilers, Caldron is easily one of the most memorable villains in this story. Not because he is powerful, because he is terrifying. Every time he appears, the atmosphere changes. The tension rises instantly, and you never know what he is going to do next. Those are my favorite kinds of villains. This is where the book really impressed me. The world feels massive. Ancient civilizations, lost history, powerful artifacts, the seals, the medals, the deep, everything feels connected. The author clearly put a lot of thought into the mythology behind this story, and what I appreciated most was that the lore never dumped onto the reader. Instead, it revealed naturally thought out the journey. By the end, I genuinely felt like there was still so much more to explore in this world, and that's always a good sign of fantasy. This was probably the biggest surprise for me. I expected action, I expected adventure, I expected fantasy, what I didn't expect was how emotional some moments would be. This story spends time building relationships, family, friendship, trust, loss, sacrifice, and because of that, when something bad happens, it actually matters. You are not reading about characters, you are investing in them. Some scenes genuinely stayed with me long after I finished reading. The action scenes are cinematic. You can easily imagine them playing out on screen. Massive battles, ancient powers, dark creatures, storms, legendary weapons, mysterious locations. There were multiple moments where I found myself thinking, this would look incredible in an animated series or fantasy film. The atmosphere is another major strength, whether it's a tense conversation, a mysterious reveal, or a confrontation with a villain. The book does a great job creating suspense. What I personally liked is strong character development, excellent world building, a memorable villain, emotional depth, great mystery and suspense. The story that keeps expanding in an interesting way. To keep this review honest, there are a couple of things readers should know. This book contains a lot of lores. There are many characters, there are many names, there are many concepts, locations, and historical details. Fantasy readers will probably enjoy that, but readers looking for a very fast and simple story may occasionally need to slow down and absorb the information. This book surprised me. It started as an interesting fantasy novel and gradually became a story that I genuinely cared about. The characters felt real, the world felt alive, the mysteries kept me curious, and the emotional moments gave this story weight. Most importantly, when I finished the book, I wasn't thinking about the battles, I was thinking about the journey. And for me, that's the mark of a good fantasy story. I can clearly see the amount of imagination, planning, and hard work that Vincent Vinoth's put into creating this world. If you enjoy fantasy filled with mystery, mythology, adventure, powerful character growth, emotional moment, and a world that feels much bigger than a single book, then this book is worth reading. Go and grab this book, The Eighth Seal by Vincent Vinoth. Thank you.